Ah, Mexico, the dream of many people. The country where the sunny weather makes the people happy. There's loads of mariachis, sombreros, burritos, tequila. Wait, what am I saying? I've heard that Mexico is a very popular country for foreigners to visit, and I understand that. Mexico is great, but are you aware of the cultural etiquette, taboos, or stereotypes that might make us Mexicans uncomfortable? Stick around and let me save you from one or two embarrassing moments. And I suppose I can take off my sombrero now. I was just looking for an excuse to wear it. You don't look Mexican. You are like pale, like your face is different. I don't know, your skin. Mexico has a great variety of ethnicities, from very indigenous people to very European looking people. At the beginning of the 19th century, the New Spain, that was going to become Mexico, had a caste system that determined a person's social standing based on their race and how far they were from the pure blood of the Spaniards. I already mentioned this in another video, I'm gonna leave the link here, but there were several divisions from mestizo to cautizo to mulatto, indio, moro, and much more. It's been a long time now, but if you were wondering why we don't look all the same, whatever that would be, know that our history is very large. In Mexico, you'll find people with very fair skin to black-skinned people. And sometimes telling them that they don't look Mexicans can be a little bit rude. We are totally mixed, and that had brought a lot of different kinds of Mexicans. And yes, we get very confused, and maybe some Mexicans get very annoyed when somebody else tells them, "You don't look Mexican." We Mexicans know that our skin color or our features doesn't define us. It's not something very important to be Mexican. You're not like a normal Mexican. You don't dance, you don't like mariachis, you don't like salsas. What's wrong with you? Never say you don't act Mexican. Saying that Mexicans are very happy and bubbly, it's something that makes feel Mexicans a little bit uncomfortable. I have a lot of friends who are very shy and very serious, so hearing that from another person would be like, sorry, am I disappointing you for being like I am? We are all different, of course, like any other part of the world. There are Mexicans who don't like dancing, there are Mexicans who don't like mariachis or tequila. Well, actually, I've started to drink tequila very recently. Yes, I'm visiting Mexico, but I don't like tortillas, sorry. You know that we Mexicans are very proud of our food? We don't mess around when we say that tortillas are the basic ingredient in our meals. Seriously, there are hundreds of meals that are made with tortilla that when we hear somebody else, "I don't like tortilla," is like saying, "I don't like Mexican food." I'm actually mentioning this because I remember a friend of mine told me that somebody came to Mexico and said, "I don't like tortilla, sorry." He was very annoyed, and because of him, I'm making this point. And of course, we eat a lot of different things, not only base tortilla meals. We're very open to have meals from all over the world. We love sushi, although in our sushi we put cheese, we put chili. Maybe we have adapted international food to our Mexican cuisine, but that's a topic for another video. Sorry, is there any Western restaurant around here? Western? Yeah, Western. Western. Just a quick interruption to tell you that this video is sponsored by me. If you're interested in living or visiting Mexico, I've created Spanish courses to help you thrive in Spanish. These courses are 100% conversation courses using Mexican phrases and using the vocabulary that we Mexicans always use. I will be giving you the vocabulary and the materials, and we also have a live class every week, so you'll put into practice everything you've learned. You'll also be using an app with me so we can communicate via chat between classes. You'll get to know me very well probably. If you're interested in booking courses with me, I'm gonna leave the the link below. So see you in the courses. I always thought that the term Western was a geographical term, a synonym for countries that are located in the Western Hemisphere. But then, when I started to read and understand more English, I started to hear from foreigners referring the term Western not only to countries from the Eastern Hemisphere, but to Latin American countries as well. Somehow, I started to understand that some people use this term to differentiate countries based on their economic development. I did some research for this video because I wanted to know where does this term comes from and why there's this confusion. And I found out that this term was first used in Europe when the Roman Empire was split in half. Rome was the west and Constantinople the east. This West civilization was molded according to the Catholic Roman Church. When the Ottomans closed the Silk Road, countries such as Great Britain, Spain, and France were looking for alternative routes, and they brought their Western civilization as well. These explorers paved the way of Western civilization throughout all the world. This exportation of culture was known as Westernization. Westernization. I also found that this term Western depends on cultural, economic, and political definitions, and it depends on who is adopting this term or who is adopting what definition. So my conclusion is that Mexico is one of the most diverse countries in the world. It has a lot of history, ethnicity, culture, and living standards as well. You can find the full spectrum in Mexico, from cities that can be very Western, whatever that means, to cities that might not fit into that definition. I think the most polite thing is to listen to the people to see if they identify themselves as Western or not. And let me tell you that here in Mexico, we think our country is Western, not for political, economical, or cultural definition. It's just for the geographical definition. Yes, I'm in Mexico. Yes, this is my first time in South America. A geographic confusion. This is something that is truly going to annoy any Mexican. Let's start from the beginning. What's America? America is the whole continent that goes from Canada all the way to Argentina. Then it's divided into 3 sections: North America, Central America, and South America. North America includes Canada, the US, and Mexico, as you can see on this map. Everything is very clear. We don't get it when a foreigner thinks that Mexico is in Central America or South America. Is it safe to visit Mexico? I've heard there are a lot of narcos over there. Mexico is a country with a lot of history. It has thousands of years of culture, and it has given the world some of the best foods. Why would a foreigner mention narcos in the first place? Or is it Mexico safe when there are a lot of thousands amazing things that Mexico can offer? Mexico is also an enormous country. It has 130 million people, so it's full of safe and beautiful places. And I'm not saying that Mexico is totally safe. Of course, there are dangerous areas, but like in any part of the world, right? When people ask me, is Mexico safe? I get really confused. How do they think I'm living? When I go to a restaurant or a cafe, I don't need to hide myself to arrive safe. Wow, everything is so cheap here. In another video, I talked about what's considered a good income in Mexico and what's the minimum wage per day in Mexico. If you want to watch that video, I'm going to leave the link here. In that video, I mentioned that the minimum wage is calculated per day rather than per hour. At the moment, in 2022, is 172 pesos, which in dollars is about $8. In that video, I asked people what should be a good salary per month. It's very interesting. Watch it. I encourage you to watch it.
Para vivir mensualmente, algunos 30,000 pesos mensuales. 150 a 200 pesos.
I know my ratio was short and the answers were relative. I know that. But it got me thinking. Those salaries wouldn't be livable for other countries like the United States, for example. And I imagine people in the United States wouldn't say that's a good salary to live. Saying a Mexican, everything is so cheap here, it's like they are not aware of the situation in Mexico. Maybe they are showing a little bit of ignorance. The language in Mexico is so similar that we can understand what everybody says. The only thing that we cannot and will probably not understand is the term quesadillas sin queso, a term that was invented by Chilangos. But who is a Chilango? A Chilango is a person from Mexico City. It has the same connotation as calling a person from New York a New Yorker, for example. If you call a person Chilango, and that person is not from Mexico City but from somewhere else, that person might take offense. Why? I don't know all the reasons, to be honest, but at least I can give you one. Quesadilla sin queso is a term that only Chilangos say, but why is so funny for any person who is not Chilango? Quesadilla is a traditional and the most simple Mexican dish which consists in a tortilla folded in half with cheese inside. It seems somehow Chilangos have created quesadilla sin queso, quesadilla without cheese. How can that be? The seller usually adds another filling. So you can have one filling, a guiso, and your cheese. Or you can just have cheese, or you can just have your filling without the cheese, and you can make your combination. That brings a lot of confusion, even for us Mexicans who are not Chilangos. When we go to Mexico City and somebody asks us, ¿your quesadilla con queso o sin queso?" We get confused. So now you know something new. If you go to Mexico City, are you going to want your quesadilla sin queso or con queso? This is my personal one. You married a white guy because you want to live in the States. And it's not only foreigners saying this, I have to say, also Mexicans. I wanted to mention this because not all the Mexicans want to live in the United States or Canada, the UK, or all those countries that some people call them developed, more developed. I don't like to use that word, but I can't find another word to describe those countries. And of course, there are a lot of people who go work in the United States because they want to give their family a better standard of living. I understand that. I'm not sure, I can't talk about them exactly, but I'm sure they're making a huge sacrifice to go to another country like the United States. I've been mentioning on my channel how amazing Mexico is. The weather, the food, the cost of living is great. We have high standards of living. I really enjoy living in Mexico, and I know a lot of Mexicans too. We don't need to marry a güero or a foreigner or a white guy to be able to live in another country. Why would I want to do that? My foreign husband doesn't define me. I want to take a moment to thank all my patrons who are supporting this channel. Thank you very much, guys, for enjoying this video, well, and all the videos. And if you aren't a patron, thank you very much as well. If you like this video, subscribe, give it a like, comment below. Do you know any other things that we Mexicans get bothered by? And if you're a Mexican watching this video as well, let me know your comments below. Maybe I can make part 2. Thank you very much for watching this video and see you in the next video. Adios!